Jokes prepared. Oh, and are we going? We're live?
We are going. Welcome to the 11th episode of Straight Out of College. I'm Daniel March.
I'm Sawyer Baker.
And Sawyer, this is...
Sawyer.
I'm sorry. Sawyer, this is a very big episode because we have reached a new record. Did you know that we now have more episodes than we do viewers?
Wow. Well, probably by like 3 or 4, though, so we could have said that like a few episodes ago, right?
Probably. So we don't have any guests on for today. We're just going to talk about what we got going on through the semester. It's been a hot second, so it's kind of to go over what's happened since then and just kind of talk about hoopla. So.
And if you guys have any questions, feel free to call in. We have the phone lines up right now. Nothing blinking, but just any questions, just feel free to call.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. What was I going to say? Something about...
Oh, God, we have nothing prepared for
no.
this. This is not good.
Oh, yes, that's what I was going to say.
Wait. Okay, go ahead before you forget what you were going to say.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, just going back to what we've been doing previously. So, I was a sock modeler. I don't know if our viewers were aware of this, but I actually modeled for a company called Strideline Socks.
Strideline Socks.
Strideline. But unfortunately, I have undownloaded the app that gave...
What?
I know.
You undownloaded the app? Which
unofficially means I am no longer a sock model. So...
Let's dive deeper into that. Why?
So, I have a lot of things going on in my life right now.
We have time.
Okay, I'll be honest. I will be honest. I've recently actually been upgrading in the modeling industry. So, I was a sock modeler, and then I was offered a gig.
Knee highs now?
No. So, I was offered a position to do apron modeling.
Oh, my gosh.
Over at, I don't know if I'm allowed to say their company, but I'm just going to say Impact Products. And so, not only was...
Impact Products,
LCC. Right, LLC, I forgot what it was. But, so, I had to take the step, and I think this is good for me and my future in modeling. And so it started with apron modeling. Not only was I the modeler, but I also was multitasking. I took the picture at the same time that I was modeling.
Wow.
Wow.
So you don't have a photographer for you?
No.
Is this all on your own? Like, did you just, wake up one day, I want to be an apron modeler, or did someone actually contact you?
Well, to be honest, my boss just told me that we needed more pictures of people wearing the products.
Did you try at all to wear the socks and the apron at the same time?
Now that you're mentioning it, I did not.
Maybe you should re-download the app?
Because it's killing two birds in one stone.
Yep. Now, is this nude apron modeling, or are you clothed underneath, or can you go into that a little bit?
Yeah, so it's not nude. I do wear clothing. That's maybe for another day, another time. Mm-hmm. But for right now, apron modeling. I have done a few glove models as well.
Oh my gosh.
I've done some hairnet modeling even, and then I actually recently did sunglass modeling.
So are these all separate, Daniel, or are you combining any of this?
So it's all combined into one contracted gig.
So you're a lunch lady?
I am a lunch lady model.
So, okay, so you're saying that you're a lunch lady model. Now, I did see you the other day down in the dining hall working behind the chicken sandwich line, wearing everything that you are describing and handing students chicken sandwiches. Are you sure you're not being tricked into being a cafeteria worker?
I don't want to talk about that.
Okay, I mean, whatever you want to believe with that, but I don't know. I was in South Dining another day and getting a chicken sandwich, and I just...
Yeah, let's move on.
And I saw you just taking pictures of yourself.
Let's move on to the next topic.
Which is what I've been doing for the last... when's the last time we did a podcast? That was...
oh, man.
That was your... who was that?
Who was my 10th podcast?
Was I on that one?
Was it my online one? Did I do one online?
I did the one before that.
Because I know I did one. Someone from a school down in Texas. It was really cool. Some random person that I met on LinkedIn.
Do you remember their name?
Stop it. I do, but not off the top of my head.
No, for legal reasons we can't say because we're in a different studio right now, kind of under a different brand right now. So everything before that, there's some legalities that we have to work out.
There's some contracts that we have and have not signed. So
yeah, we have not signed. No,
it's just a matter of technicalities at the moment.
Yep. So, okay, so you've been a model, and during that time, I've been in South Dakota working on my LinkedIn profile.
Okay.
Yeah, I've just been kind of hitting up town to town, meeting new people.
No, you actually sent me a friend request recently.
I did send you a friend request on LinkedIn. Not the Daniel March I was looking for, though. When I figured it out that it was you, I was like, that's not the right one.
Yeah, because you sent me the friend request, and I was wondering, is he trying to do something right now? Because...
Yeah, as I've stated previously, that my LinkedIn profile is specifically for dating. So I found a person in South Dakota named Daniel March, and I don't know. I just wanted to kind of hit him up, see what he was doing, maybe hit some nice downtown South Dakota clubs, you know. But then I looked at the picture and I realized it was you. So,
do you know if they have? Is LinkedIn a popular website in South Dakota at the moment?
No, nobody actually. So when I was down there, not a single person knew what I was talking about.
Do they have internet there?
No. That's actually that's a problem. That's a huge problem in South Dakota, and that's why I wasn't able to reach you. Well, I forgot my phone as well, so that was kind of also a problem. But there's no internet access. It's hard to get water, food. It's not looking good right now. It's not, I know I talked it up a lot in previous episodes.
Well, so I don't want to interrupt you, but maybe...
You just did.
Maybe that's why it's the go-to place, is because there hasn't been any companies there to start these businesses. So the field's completely open. You can basically create your own monopoly in internet, in food, in anything.
It's a fixer-upper. It's definitely a fixer-upper. There's not many buildings out there. No paved roads. No Uber, no Lyft. There's nothing. Nothing really. There's one guy who drives a taxi there, and he's pretty busy.
So they do have cars.
Just him. That's the only one. They have one taxi driver that can get you from town to town in South Dakota. You go up to North Dakota, it's internet, Skyline Chili's, just everything.
I thought that was just a Southern Ohio thing.
No, it's also it's in North Dakota as well. Yeah, North Dakota and Cincinnati are the two places for Skyline Chili's.
Okay.
But I try not to venture up there too much.
Yeah, so North Dakota, kind of mentioned earlier, but in a previous podcast, North Dakota is like the more futuristic version of South Dakota. I
would say so, yes. And by futuristic, I mean by 1,000 years almost. They're definitely behind. Yeah. Okay. No, and I don't think we would have any listeners in South Dakota just because of their limitations.
Now you say 1,000 years behind. I don't want to go into this, but do Native Americans still live there?
It's pretty much that's all it is. That's literally it's. Well, yeah, it's. I went there and I was. We don't need to get into anything about taking land and all of that, but it's
It's getting time. It's getting close to that time of the year. It's almost Thanksgiving.
It is almost Thanksgiving. Any big plans for Thanksgiving, Daniel?
Oh man, might be going down to West Virginia and grab some food with the relatives down there.
You have relatives in West Virginia?
I do.
Elaborate on that. Go a little bit deeper.
Yeah, so I have just my father's side of the family lives there, and they make very good food.
Is that the left or the right?
I'd say left.
Left.
It's the left side. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they make home cooked food. We eat it usually, and.
What can you name some of the years that you did not eat the food? Because you said usually you eat it.
Well.
What about in 1998? Did you eat it that year?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't either.
I wasn't there.
That wasn't a big year on eating food for Thanksgiving, I don't believe.
Yeah, I was a crybaby.
Okay.
Oh gosh. Okay.
I think I was in my 30s. Yeah.
Your 30s?
32 in 1998.
Are you what's the movie where you go down in age? You know what I'm talking about?
I do know what you're talking about. Let me just look this up.
I don't know why Schindler's List was the first movie that came to my mind because it's not
Oh my
Schindler's
gosh.
List.
Wow, that's.
I did see that movie recently though.
Did you?
Yeah, it was really good.
Schindler's List. What's that about?
Oof. It's
Thanksgiving?
no.
Is that the movie that's in black and white, except for that one person who's in color?
Yeah, it's like a really dark World War II movie that kind of focuses on the Holocaust, and there's this one. It's basically all black and white except for this one girl, who is her. You can see her red dress, and she ends up dying at the end. I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So going back to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So, do they celebrate Thanksgiving in South Dakota?
No,
They're-
there's nothing. When I say there's nothing, there is nothing. It is a fixer up there. There's no holidays. When I went there, I did not celebrate my birthday because it frankly did not exist.
Uh-huh. Are they still upset about the facts of how much they gave a few hundred years ago?
No, they're. I'm trying to remember what I've said about South Dakota previously to not backtrack and make you guys think that I'm a liar, because that is one thing that I want to confirm right now, that I am not a liar. So I'm not going to answer that question specifically.
Okay.
So Daniel, what's your favorite Thanksgiving food?
My favorite, it's not even Halloween. What are we talking
Yeah, we'll get to
about?
Halloween.
My favorite Thanksgiving food has to be artificial cranberry sauce. Because, so the natural cranberry sauce, the texture is too natural. So you get seeds in there, it's all mushy. But the artificial cranberry sauce, you take it out of the can, and it has like that very gelatin-esque texture to it.
Where do you get that at?
I get it from the one and only Walmart.
So you're a Walmart shopper.
Yes.
Oh boy.
That is my goal is to upgrade from Walmart to Target. When I know
To Target? So there's not a step in between there? Like a Kroger or a Meijer?
No. I'm just, I just want to make that nice, quick transition, And when I start shopping at Target, that's when I know I've made it.
Okay.
And I think, depending how this semester goes, it's definitely hit or miss.
Yeah, what's the GPA requirement to get into a Target? I was denied.
So, I think now this is kind of a loose structured system they have, but the general requirement is about a 3.4, but they also keep in mind some of your experiences that you went through.
Mm-hmm.
So, for any of you guys that are in college right now, this is a really good lesson if you want to eventually sharp at Target.
Our listeners are learning so much right now.
I know. So it's either a 3.4, or if you have like a really good background in jobs, doing something that is really beneficial to the community. So, Steve Jobs, he came out with like the Mac or something.
Yeah.
But I don't.
He only had a 2.8 though.
He didn't graduate, I don't believe.
Yeah, but yeah, previously he only had a 2.8.
Yeah, but so because he did create the Mac, they did make an exception for him.
Yeah. Target decided to rush me in, even though I did have a lower GPA. I was just kind of like on a probationary period, which I did not pass, and now I'm not. I'm actually banned for life at Target. So luckily there are none in South Dakota. There is a CVS pharmacy though, which is really weird. I don't understand that, but
well, that's good. Why were you banned?
Daniel, I just said that. I went in the probationary period and I did not keep my GPA up, and I was ridiculed in front of all the employees at Target outside. Actually, it was pretty traumatizing,
really
to say the least.
My sister's fiance actually works at Target, so.
Oh, is it like an in for me maybe?
I can talk to him.
Okay, your sister's what's his name?
I don't know if he wants me saying his name on the podcast, so I'm just
give the initials.
Sris. I can't. I was gonna
His name,
switch it the first and last letters of his name, but then his last name would sound dirty, so I'm not gonna say that.
Sris. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I think we have a Nope. No callers. No callers. False alarm on that one.
Yeah.
Okay. So what were we talking about?
Talking about Target.
Favorite Thanksgiving food.
So mine was cranberry sauce. What is your favorite What is your favorite cranberry sauce?
I like the opposite of whatever you like, I think. I don't know if I've ever had cranberry sauce. So I'm going to give a real serious answer here. And it's going to be green bean casserole.
That's fair.
It's got to be green bean casserole.
That's a good one, but I'll one up you. Another really good one is the cheesy potatoes with the cereal in it.
The cereal?
I forgot what the corn puffs.
Really? Is that a thing? I was thinking more like breadcrumbs or like potato chips or
cornflakes.
Cornflakes. Okay.
Yeah.
Cheesy potatoes with corn frosted. Actually, just bought a box of corn puffs. We finished that off a few days ago, so that's pretty exciting. That's another thing I've been up to.
I'm proud of you.
Working on a box of corn puffs.
What are you gonna do now that time era is over?
Well, this is a good transition. When I say we, I mean myself, and that's it. We decided to buy the new Halloween cereal.
Is it
the Blueberry
Count
Chocula?
Yeah.
So I've got 2 of those sitting up there on top of the fridge, working on those.
Do you know them?
I know of them.
I actually have a friend that has a cousin that is related to.
Oh my gosh.
Count Dracula's sister.
Okay, so he's not related.
Not Dracula, Chocula.
He's related to Count Chocula's sister, but he's not related to Count Chocula. Can you say his name? Is it? Can you? Is it start with an F and ends with an Ankenstein?
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
And no callers still. Okay, so Daniel, favorite Halloween candy?
My favorite
to eat during Thanksgiving when it goes on sale.
Mine would have to be, this isn't necessarily a candy. This is more of a coupon for the snack size Wendy's Frosty.
The snack size Wendy's Frosty.
You can get it for, what is it? I think it's like $5 for $1 at Wendy's.
$5 for $1?
I think so.
Wow.
Or it's like 5 or 10. But
wow. You know the spicy nugs are back?
I do. And it was my first time trying them, and I think they are overrated.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that.
They're all right, but it was overhyped on Twitter, I think.
I don't have a Twitter, and I don't know what that is, but I did see the sign for it out there, and I tried it the other day, and too spicy.
Really?
Too spicy, yeah.
Wow.
Way too spicy.
What is normal spicy for you?
Probably a glass of ice water.
That's as as balanced as you can get when it comes to
I like a nice balanced spice in my life.
Okay. Now one thing I haven't tried yet is I heard they're coming out with a spicy Frosty.
A spicy Frosty.
Now, I heard this from one of my friends on Twitter. I don't know if he was being honest with me or dishonest.
Real quick, can you explain what Twitter is to some of the viewers that don't know what it is?
For any of those of you who don't know what Twitter is, probably a lot of you South Dakotans. So if you happen to have internet in the future, this one's for you. So Twitter is a social media platform which connects you with like billions of other people, and you're only allowed to say like a 140 word text, I think. And then everyone can see it and share it. And so Wendy's came out with a promotion saying if this gets a certain amount of shares or retweets, then we will come out with spicy nugs. And they met the requirements. And then about 7 months later, they came out with it, and that by that time, no one really cared anymore.
So it really was like a Twitter thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But like, it took them like 6-7 months to actually commit to it.
Oh.
So.
Wow.
Wendy was slacking.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay. Now we're getting to that's all I got.
Well, so Sawyer, what is your favorite Halloween candy?
Oh, I enjoy the caramel apple suckers.
Those are good.
Those are really good. They're so hard to eat, and especially when you start getting to the caramel part, and it's just really hard, and then your teeth are just falling off.
Yeah, I just kind of eventually I create like a layer of. I like to think of it as a layer of caramel, just kind of attached to the top of my mouth,
Mm-hmm.
and eventually the sucker part comes off, and it's just kind of there, and then it just kind of disintegrates.
How many of those do you think you could eat in one sitting, if you were really going at it?
Oof. Probably 50. Now, what I was thinking...
One sitting? You could just knock out a bag?
I think so. Now, what I thought you were going to go with that is, like, how much can you put in your mouth?
At once.
And that sounds like a dangerous game because it would just stick to each other.
Yeah.
And then when... It's kind of like when you bite into a light bulb where...
Have you done that?
No. Where you can put it in your mouth, but when you start to take it out, you realize that you made a mistake. And I think you're going to get the same result with caramel apple suckers.
So you think it'd be the same thing as... Okay, how many light bulbs and caramel apple suckers do you think you could down in one sitting?
Maybe 3.
Okay. 3 just each? Or like 3 what?
You know what, Sawyer? I think this isn't a very bright idea.
Okay, we're gonna have to take a break after that one. What's the new sponsor?
Shoot.
Spicy nuggets are back at Wendy's.
For some designated price that I don't know.
Just give them a $5 bill and that'll probably cover it.
Yeah.
And we're back straight out of college.
I thought I saw someone behind us, but I think we're good. Okay.
Yeah,
we're recording in an area that we are allowed to be in. I just wanted to let you know we are not trespassing. We are just using our sources.
Now, Daniel, when you say using our sources here, did I tell you that when I did go to South Dakota that I was able to get the podcast to them even without them not having the proper technology?
Did you just like hook it up to a speaker or?
No, I printed off the transcripts and I just played every character and just kind of I would hold shows for the Native Americans and I would just get up in front of them and I would just I would play your part, my part, the guest part.
Yeah.
And I just I played all 10 episodes for them.
You can start a business out of that. Maybe like make a play out of it.
I could, but I was only getting like 4 or 5 people that would show up like per show, so it was kind of like it's tough to work with a crowd like that.
Oh sure. Was it a paid gig or are you just doing it volunteer work?
I paid to do that. I had to pay to do that. Yeah. I lost a lot of money in South Dakota, which is really hard to believe.
I mean, hey, you got to do what you got to do to promote the podcast.
Yeah, no, and I'm going I don't see you putting in that effort. I honestly don't even know what you do with this, what you're doing to promote it, I should say. I don't see you going on and, signing out a theater to perform or doing it. We should do a musical.
A musical?
We should do Straight Out of College, the musical.
A full podcast episode in singing.
Yes.
We can try it out right now for a little sample.
Okay.
You want to start?
Do I want to start?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You take the lead.
You are the more music inclined one here, so
that's true.
Okay, so there's a podcast. This is a real thing, and I recommend it to all 9 or 8 of you out there listening. It's called Off Book. Fantastic improvised musical podcast.
Really?
Yes, all improvised musicals. It's fantastic.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
So are you ready to start?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Are you like a method actor when it comes to musicals?
Yeah, I have to.
So you need to get into the zone?
Yeah, I really need to get into the zone here.
So should we be quiet for a few minutes so you can kind of get into that zone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
ready?
definitely.
Okay.
Oh wait. If this is gonna be can we can we just act it out and then jump into a musical part of it?
act out.
Like it doesn't have to be like all just singing. Like there's gonna be like like
Like there's some non-singing.
yeah,
portions in it.
non-singing portions.
I mean, we could.
Okay, let's start. Okay, this is the Straight Outta College the musical, starting off with Daniel and I meeting in the parking lot, getting ready to come into the undisclosed location to record this podcast. And action. Hey Daniel, what's up? Haven't seen you in a while, bud.
Oh, it's going swell. Hey Sawyer, I heard you're good at singing.
Oh, Daniel, I'm fantastic at singing. Let's get in the studio and sing a song.
Let's do it.
A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4, straight
Shoo-wop.
out of college.
Skaboop boop.
That was really good. That was
Straight out of college.
the only podcast you'll ever need to meet your college.
Credentials.
Yep. Here it goes. All 9 of you listeners are... can't use that word. Okay. Well,
And many more.
that was really good.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
So you graduate this semester?
I do. So I graduate, and I was going to start doing this thing where I do like an hourly job search each week,
Mm-hmm.
and I started that. There's one place that I would like to work at, and it is Venture for America. I'm currently in the process of potentially getting interviewed, but basically it's like a startup. It's not necessarily a startup. They basically place you with startups around cities that aren't like super big cities like New York that already have like super amazing stuff going on, but places that are kind of building up to be places like New York. So, for example, Cleveland is like, it's a really big city, but it has a lot of potential to become even bigger. It's like places where people aren't necessarily thinking of going to.
So
like,
would Toledo fit into that?
It's not
Or like bigger than Toledo?
bigger than Toledo. So, like, for example, when I first think of where I want to go when I graduate is like San Francisco, New York City, Atlanta, Georgia.
South Dakota.
Those are like the South Dakota is another prime example.
Definitely an up-and-comer.
But those are like the only cities that everyone's thinking of. They're not thinking of the other cities that have potential, such as Cleveland, Columbus. There's some places down in Florida, New Orleans, et cetera, Just like places where they have bigger cities that has a lot of potential, but college students aren't thinking of going there. So basically what they do is they take you and they match you up with startups that are in these bigger cities, and you basically get paid to work at a startup company. So
Like give some examples of what you'd be doing.
yeah. So my initial thought was that like it would act more as like a kind of you create a startup and then they help you with it, but that's not what it is. It's more of like you go to a startup that already exists, and then there are certain roles that you can apply for, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be things that you majored in. So like for me, things that I would apply for is they have graphic design positions, user interface and user experience positions, kind of like stuff like that. And so, but then they have other stuff that are like more business related and et cetera, like marketing and all that. But yeah.
Have you been practicing? Have you like been doing any like stuff on the side, learning?
I have. So I'm applying for that job, and I kind of haven't been applying for a whole lot of other places because there's this one thing that I am kind of working on, which is basically a startup for an app, but I
Can't talk about it on air.
can't talk about all of it. I can talk about some of it. Basically, I'm working on this super cool app, and I personally think it's like $1 million or $1 billion idea. There isn't really a whole lot of flaws to it, and there's nothing that exists that is similar to it. And I have the user interface, user experience, like the UI UX all down for. So basically, I have a visual representation of how the app would work, but I don't have the actual app because I don't know how to do the back end of it, like all the coding and all that. More of just like the presentation kind of side of it, and then I understand the idea of it, so I can kind of talk about it and kind of take the entrepreneurial role of it as well. And then I got someone helping me figuring out like what I got to do to make it work. And like one of the hardest parts that I kind of am learning as I'm kind of taking on this adventure, whatever you want to call it, this expedition, is that it's hard figuring out who to trust and who not to trust when it comes to getting advice and like figuring out what the next steps are to do what you want to do. Because when you have ideas that you think are like super awesome and you think other people might think it's super awesome, it's just hard to trust people, I guess, that know what they're doing versus you who you don't know what you're doing. So
how much of this have you made yourself? Like you said,
100%.
All of it, you've done it?
Basically, I'm working with the Launchpad right now at University of Toledo to kind of get some advice from them. I'm also working with other people that I'm not going to talk about. I'm
Can you just like say their first and last name or just say like their first names and then their last names.
I'm working with mentors. That's what I'm going to say.
Their name is Mentors. Okay.
Their name is Mentors from Mentor, Ohio.
Okay.
But yeah.
Mentor County, Mentor. Okay, yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Exactly. So now you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm just really excited to work on this idea. And because of this app idea, I've kind of slowed down on looking for jobs to apply for after I graduate just because I want to focus a lot on this app. And until I am like 95% sure that there's no way that this is going to work, then I'll start applying for jobs. But until then, like, I'm kind of trying to just maybe look for a part-time job when I graduate just so I can still be living in not a cardboard box, and then just everything else dedicated to this app because I think it can actually turn into something.
On a scale of Uber to Tinder, where does this app fall?
Well, it's not Uber.
So it's not like Uber or Lyft.
It's
similar.
It's more similar to Tinder.
Okay.
If I had to compare it to, like, if I can combine two apps into what this app is, and it has nothing to do with what these apps actually do, but just to like how big they got and why they got big, it would be a mixture of Pokemon Go and let's say GroupMe.
Okay. Can you explain any like more about that?
No.
Like what you mean by how they got big? Like
so like for example, why did Pokemon Go get really big?
Why?
Yeah.
I don't know. I never used it, so I don't.
But like, what's one thing you noticed when Pokemon Go was really big?
That just everybody was out. You go to any park and just there's just people just everywhere on it.
So take that concept and apply it to. You could say GroupMe, but yeah, I feel like I just gave away the app.
No. We'll edit that out.
We'll edit that out. No, but basically, yeah, it's just to kind of sum it all up. I'm creating an app that will change the way we look at what we think a community is. So, yeah.
Is it anything like the Kroger Click List app?
We're gonna move on.
Oh gosh, I think I just gave away the idea. Wow. So are you still interning or doing what you're doing?
So I'm still interning at Impact Products, the place where I'm doing my modeling career as well.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm kind of hoping.
And they didn't just send you out to do like side jobs at dining halls.
So I'm kind of hoping that like, cause I know they're planning on getting an intern once when I graduate. So I'm kind of hoping that I could continue maybe getting like part-time there or something. So if you're listening to this, if I can have a part-time job once I graduate, that'd be great. But yeah, I need a part-time job when I graduate, and then I just want to continue working on my app idea.
Okay, that sounds fun. You graduate in December, right?
Yes, so that'll be.
Are you nervous?
I am not nervous now, but I feel like when it happens, it's gonna hit me really hard. Because it's one of those things where I'm kind of not necessarily ignorantly ignoring it, but I'm ignoring it just because I want to focus on what I got going on right now, I guess.
Yeah. Are you staying in Toledo?
That is the game plan at the moment, unless things happen and I need to go elsewhere, I plan on staying in Toledo. But like that's the other thing is, if I do end up getting a position for Venture for America, that's like the one thing that I'm missing is like entrepreneurship experience. And so by going through that program, I'd be getting 2 years of startup experience that would help me.
And you could go like anywhere, like they could put you anywhere with that, so you wouldn't even know.
Yeah, so it kind of, you get matched up, so whatever job
So
fits.
it's like Tinder.
Yeah.
Okay.
It matches you up, so like whatever job position fits you best, but you're not really considering where. You're more focused on what you're doing, and then they kind of, you end up in that city.
Okay. Do they know about your modeling experience? Is that like factored into anything? Do you think that's like helping you, hurting you?
I think I'm going to talk about it in the interview.
Are you? I would lead off with that, and that's all I would talk about, and then every question they ask you, relate it back to that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm an apron modeler, and
Yeah.
what okay, so let's just play a quick game real quick.
Okay.
And I'm interviewing you for, whatever. Okay, Daniel, why do you want to work for this company?
So, okay, let me answer that question with a question. How popular is Adam Sandler?
Now or like 15 years ago?
Let's just go with 15 years ago.
Very popular.
So you would say he has a very high name recognition, correct?
Yes, I would.
Well, let's say I have a name recognition that's equivalent to him when it comes to modeling. Would you hire me?
Of course we would.
Checkmate.
Wow, that's all we needed.
Boom goes
to ask.
dynamite.
That's all.
Guess who just got their job?
Wow. I don't even have a fault. Yeah, that's okay. When can you start?
Exactly. It's
Wow.
like, no, when can you start for me?
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Wow. Your level of confidence right now is too big for this room that we're supposed to be in right now.
This is a big room. It's about what, 50 by 50?
It's the ceiling's very like we're crouched down right now. It's almost like we're in a crawl space or something. But yeah.
Well, so how's your semester going?
My semester, this is my last semester at the University of Toledo. All online classes, nothing on campus. So today, before Daniel and I met up to come record this podcast at an undisclosed location, I kind of walked around campus because I haven't been here at all since the summer and just kind of took it all in. It was just like, wow, this is all coming to an end in like 2 months.
So you haven't even went to any of the football games or anything? This is your first time walking around campus.
This semester, yes. I don't look at me like that. I've been a very busy person. As I said, I got like 4 or 5 classes right now. Working full time at the hospital. Actually, just got a new job on Friday.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah. Sorry, I haven't told my bosses yet, and I know they're listeners to this podcast,
Oh,
but
of
you're going to
course,
find
yeah.
out tomorrow that I'm quitting. So
Like, oh, shoot.
Yeah, so that's exciting. So I got a job that's right where I want to be for supply chain in my career field, and pretty excited. It's entry level, but with a lot of room for advancement. And
That's really cool.
Very excited to start that.
Yeah. So are you planning on staying here after you graduate then?
So it's this job's like an internship, kind of like a 6-month, and then it's gonna turn into a full-time position. It's full-time, but then it's gonna be like an actual position after that. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Who knows? South Dakota's.
It's very tempting.
Yeah, it's very tempting to go there and just keep putting on play. We keep doing the podcast. I have to keep going to South Dakota every time we record a podcast, so it honestly makes things
That's
very
why it's
difficult.
been so long.
Yeah, that's why.
But, I mean, here's a fun fact about South Dakota. Did you know South Dakota sells 90% of arrowheads that are currently in the market in the United States of America?
Wow. Where did you hear that?
Well, not the internet. Because
Yeah,
I
not the-
don't have that. I actually
Did you read that in the Blade or something?
No, I actually hired someone to go down there and take some physical data.
Oh, that was actually me with a mustache, with a fake. I already kind of have a mustache.
That was
but
you?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
shoot.
It was just kind of like a darker mustache
Oh.
on top of my mustache, and it was dangling off, and I just was like, yeah, I'll do it for $20 because I really need the money right now
You
because
fooled
it's
me.
costing me so much money to go to South Dakota. and have to pay these venues to put on plays for this podcast.
So you mean to tell me this whole time that Mark Hemington was you?
Mark Johnson Hemington, 2 last names. The third has been me.
I've
Yeah.
known Mark for like the past 10 years now.
Oh,
though.
I've been playing. This has been a long game. This has been a long game.
I've known him before I've met you.
Yeah, no, this is Mark Johnson Hemingway. As you guys know, I started that one about 15 years ago. Now, I kind of had to backtrack with that, and 5 years before Daniel was born, I kind of met his parents and kind of got that in with him, and then just from there, just have been, trying to build that relationship up with Daniel to get work.
This was all to get $20 worth of work.
And it worked. And it worked.
I'm sure it probably cost more than $20 to get there, though.
It costs thousands of dollars to get there, so I'm in the hole.
$20 less, though.
Yeah, but $20 less. So, Mark Johnson Hemington. What did I say it was? Hemington. Yeah, that was me. And
shoot, I'm so gullible.
Yeah, and Johnson Mark Hemington is also me as well. The guy who's been delivering the milk to your place. That's also been me.
Jeez.
Yeah, and I
wait. So you said it was just you with a mustache?
That one's just the mullet.
Oh.
The milkman one's just me with a mullet.
Okay, but the South Dakota one is you in a mustache.
Yeah, it's because I already kind of have a mustache.
So it was like a mustache over your mustache.
Yeah, it was a slightly darker mustache over my mustache with Gorilla Glue.
Actually, I can see it now.
Yep.
I can totally see it now.
Yeah, and I didn't even change my voice. Like, it's just, it's pretty crazy when you ask me to come on the podcast because it's like, how am I going to make that work?
Wow, this is mind blowing.
Yeah, so this is a straight out of college verse. I actually have a lot of characters that I play that have been a part of Daniel's life before I ever thought it was going to get to this point.
Okay. Is there any ones where you're like using a different voice because you have to be more undercover?
Honestly, I've never used a different voice with you, so that's kind of why I remember that girl you dated in 6th grade?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me. That was me.
No.
Yep, that was me.
No.
Yep. Chelsea Hemington. Yep, that was me. Chelsea Mark Hemington Johnson. That was me. Yep.
Oh, I'm
6th
sorry
grade.
because
Yep.
I was really awkward.
And remember that girl who liked you that got Chelsea jealous and she eventually broke up with you?
I don't remember that one.
Okay, well that's why Chelsea broke up with you, was because there was another girl named Sarah Hemington Johnson Mark who was like flirting with you in English class.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Chelsea got very jealous of it. That was also me.
I thought she broke up. She sent me a letter saying that she broke up with me because it wasn't meant to be, and she gave me this really big poem written in cursive about how the stars weren't aligned.
Yeah, I had to learn cursive again for that one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was me. You know your dad?
No.
That one's not me, but
Oh, okay.
I'm just. How well do you know
But
your
his
dad?
wife, no.
Yeah. How well do you think you know your dad?
Pretty decently, I'd say.
Yeah. Well. Surprise! That's been me in character for the last. I've been playing that one for about 25 years now.
Dad?
And your mom. So I've been playing both characters. That one's really hard to pull off at weddings and just any family get-togethers. I know if you notice that they've never been in the same room.
I don't believe you on those two.
You don't believe me on those two?
I can believe.
Okay,
the
well, how does
girlfriend.
this wig look?
Mom?
Yeah. Hello, son. It is me, your mother. Marcus Chelsea Sarah Johnson Hemington.
Mom.
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me this before, Mom?
No. It's me in character. I have no idea where your mom's at or your dad.
Wait, so okay, I'm confused. Does this mean I'm asexual?
I would say more C-sexual.
Okay.
And we're just gonna end this part of it there.
Oh man,
I know you have a lot of questions, I
lot.
know this is a lot to take in for you.
This is a lot to take in.
But pretty much every person that you've known, not every person, but most of them, has been me. You know your roommate Caleb?
No.
Well, yeah, you don't know who the real Caleb is because it's actually me.
No.
Yeah, that's actually me. I've been living with you. I don't know why I picked you. And then I got on this podcast as myself.
This is weird now because I'm going to walk around.
And you're going to wonder.
I'm going to see everyone. And it's probably, there's like what? Would you say a 50% chance it's going to be you?
Yeah, definitely. Maybe not a 50% chance, but probably like a 30. I would say a 30% of the people that you know you've interacted with.
This makes so much sense. You know how they have the good old saying, when you love someone, right? And like, let's say you go out with them and they break up, or they just kind of turn you down, and then after, like, let's say you spend a lot of time with this person, you see their face everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's been that's been me.
Oh
and anytime, and I just want to clarify though that every time that your supposed mom or dad, which has been me their entire life, has said that they love you, it's all acting. So I just want to, straight out of college, we'll be right back after these messages.
Do you like cheese?
Yes, I do.
Well, let me introduce you to Swiss Cheese American.
Swiss Cheese American? Wow, what is that?
Swiss Cheese American is when you take 50% Swiss, 50% cheese, and 50% American, combine it into one, and you get Swiss Cheese American.
But doesn't that equal 150%?
That's right. You're getting 150% of Swiss Cheese American. You can order your Swiss Cheese American at Walmart, Giant Eagle, and now Target.
Wow. Thanks, sir.
All right.
And we're back. How's it going? Looks like we got a caller on the line here. Caller, you are live on air with Straight Outta College.
Must have been missed call.
Okay, yep.
Wrong number. Okay.
All right. What were we talking about before? Were we still talking about Thanksgiving or Halloween or?
Halloween. Are you going as anything for Halloween?
I haven't decided yet.
I am.
I have a lot, I think we were talking about earlier. I do have a lot of disguises and things. So I might just see what's in my drawer and
you like dress up as yourself, so that way.
Yeah, nobody would know.
It's very meta.
Yeah. What's your favorite Halloween costume you've ever went as?
I got favorite Halloween costume stories, favorite Halloween costumes. I'm going to say my favorite Halloween costume because that's what you asked me.
That is what I asked, and that's all I'm expecting.
I have a very close runner-up, but we're going to talk about
Give me your top 25.
Top 25. I'm going to narrow it down to 3. So my first favorite is going to have to be, and this kind of ties in with what I did with it. I dressed up as John Cena, but it was like a homemade John Cena. So I did buy the WWE belt, but then...
How old were you?
This is 3 years ago.
Okay. That's okay.
I got the belt. I got my own camo jeans and shirts.
Wait. I'm gonna pause right there. Do you remember where you got the belt?
Walmart.
You remember the person who checked you out at the Walmart?
No, that was like 3 years ago. I'm assuming it was you though.
Yeah, it was me.
Okay, surprise there.
Yep.
But so the thing that I did make was I made my own John Cena hat because that cost too much money. So I got like a $2 white hat, and I just kind of used highlighters and markers to color it green with a symbol that says "You see me" with a not sign over the C. See what I did there?
Mm-hmm,
Then it says "You cannot see me,"
mm-hmm.
and that's John Cena's motto. And so what I did with this was I took a camouflage blanket, I went to my co-op at the time out at WHS Engineering, shout out, whoop whoop, and I had a speaker and I played the John Cena theme song, and I went into the office blaring it. The time is now, you can't see me. Dun, 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 dun. And because there's a competition, and so I wanted to get first, I was like, okay, how can I not get first? And my thought process was, it was a 50.
So you were trying not to win?
I was trying to win.
Oh, trying to win.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So my thought process was, okay, this is a $50 prize, so I'm going to put my Halloween budget at $40, so not only do I have a sweet costume, but I'm also making $10 out of it. And so I did
That sounds like my logic when I go to South Dakota.
Exactly. So I did the entrance, playing the music, doing the "You Can't See Me," the whole hand motion. I'm doing it right now.
Oh, man.
And I thought for sure I would win. And it was a voting system when it comes to winning. And I ended up getting second place. And I was a little upset. And I think my boss was even more upset that I didn't win. He's like, "Oh, dude, you should have won. Oh my gosh." I was like, "I know, but it's all right." He's like, "All right, man,
Who was the winner?
The winner, it was someone that she had like a pretty cool costume. It was like homemade as well, but it was like homemade.
Mm-hmm.
It was like some sort of like princess costume, and so he was like, "No, you should have won. Let me tell you, I'll tell you what. I'm just gonna buy you a pizza, put anything on it, whatever you want." I'm like, "Oh, I don't want you to buy me a pizza. It's all right, man." He's like, "No, I'm buying you pizza. I don't care. You're taking it." I'm like, "Okay, I'll have cheese pizza." He's like, "All right, I'm ordering an extra large cheese pizza or pepperoni pizza." I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" And so that was my favorite Halloween costume, just because like the whole story behind it.
And you know the person who won?
Mm-hmm.
That was me.
No.
Yeah, that was me.
Sawyer,
Yeah,
you owe me $50.
I don't owe you anything because I'm trying to get us some market in South Dakota. So.
That was your other.
Yep.
The other plan you had was planning this whole time to get into that co-op to get that $50.
Yep. It was not. That was a struggle because I was not good at anything with that.
Well,
I was terrible at that co-op, but I was good at costumes.
Sure, and that's 300% of what I gave you, the $20 to go out there. So
yeah,
probably worth it, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it was good.
But yeah, my runner-up for favorite costume, much shorter story. I wanted to be a cheapskate.
Thank God.
I wanted to be a cheapskate. I just wanted to get something that was goofy.
So, how long ago was this?
Last year.
Okay.
And I wanted to do something that was never done before, because, everyone's done Harley Quinn, so I didn't want to dress up as her. Everyone's done, everyone's going to be Joker this year. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
But so I wanted to do something different, so I got the Batman outfit, which, has the padding, so that makes you look buffer. So, it's a win-win. One, I'm Batman. Two, I look stronger than what I actually am. And then I also got one of the things that's been trending recently is those really big animal heads.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got a pug head. And so for last Halloween, I was Bat Pug. And I'm going to be Bat Pug again this year because my thought process is I don't have to pay for a Halloween costume ever again because I have the perfect Halloween costume. Why do I need to change it? Don't change what's working.
That's how much money did you put into that costume?
Batman was about 20, and then the head was 10, so 30.
Okay. So so you're averaging $35?
About 35, yeah.
Okay, let's go with your number one. And Daniel's number one Halloween costume is...
Oh, no, those...
Oh, you said that was the runner-up.
The runner-up, but then the first one I said was my favorite.
Oh, the John Cena one?
Yeah.
I thought you were starting at 3. I thought you were giving me your top
Okay,
3.
my number one is one of my first Halloween costumes. This goes back to first grade or kindergarten?
All right,
I don't know.
we're backing it up.
Actually, third grade, I think. But I definitely dressed up before that. But the one I remember
The year was 2005.
Indubitably. And I dressed up as a hamster. And instead of going trick-or-treating, we had a setup at our house where we scared people. And we were like the house of the block because, there's that one house where it's just a whole haunted house set up. And so I dressed up as a hamster. I hid behind a wall, and I ran out, and I would chase after this arm that was lying out in the yard. And my dad would have a voice changer, and I would pretend like I was talking while my dad does the voice. And like the little chipmunk voice?
Yeah.
That's the voice he would use, and he would make the sound effects like nom, 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 my arm, and yeah. So.
And you said your dad was.
My dad was the voice.
Your dad was the voice.
I was the hamster.
Yeah,
he was
so
the
that
voice.
was me. But yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So that was. So I actually knew all about it. That was a fun day. That was a fun day.
It
for
was.
us.
Yeah. It was a good bonding
That
experience.
was a great
Dad.
bonding experience. A great costume. We had a lot of fun that day.
It was a lot of fun. Definitely a time to cherish and look back on.
Definitely.
So what about you, Dad? What was your favorite Halloween costume?
So I'm gonna go with one that never made it to Halloween. That was just an idea, and I didn't end up piecing it together to get it. But I was going to buy a Pope costume, And then I was going. This is just simple, just kind of like mashing two things. So a Pope costume along with a horse head with the horse hooves, and I was going to be horse Pope.
Horse Pope.
And that's one I eventually want to use for Halloween, is to go as horse Pope or horse Jesus.
Is that like a reference to something?
No, it's just something I wanted to kind of create. But it's very expensive because like if you get like those realistic horse heads, those are really expensive.
Well, you can get like the plastic ones for $20.
Yeah, but we don't.
You don't have that money?
We don't mess with cheap stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. When you have a lot of jobs like I do, well, I
Yeah.
do lose a lot of money, so I should probably.
So when you want a more realistic one then?
Yeah, I wanted to like really like sell it like, is that the Pope? Oh, it's horse Pope. You know, like
How
and,
realistic do you want the horse head?
I want it to be a real horse, his head, and
Okay.
then just have it, cleaned out or however they do that.
And
So
how would you see through it?
you don't. That's why I actually. This is someone you haven't come across yet, but it's another character I'm working on that's going to come across in your life in the next 5 years is going to be a blind person. So just kind of practicing with that. So once I can kind of get that down, then we'll look more into the horse Pope idea. Because I think any mask that you wear that you can see perfectly out of is just kind of not fun, not realistic. I think it's better if you can't see.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah. Okay, transitioning from that. So my favorite costume, I went as Georgie from It, the It movie, 2 years ago, and had the rain. It was super easy to put together. You just had to wear like jeans, raincoat, rain boots. Now that was the hardest part. I went to probably 6 or 7 different stores looking for green rain boots. And I could not get the right color, so I had to settle for like the wrong shade of green.
Oh.
So, yes, and then I
It was
also
more of like a neon green.
Yeah, well, I think that's what I ended up with. I don't remember, but it's been 2 years.
Yeah.
A lot of characters since then.
Right.
But that one's probably my favorite, just because I'm such an It fan. I think going as Pennywise would be really cool, but it'd be really expensive and hard to pull off.
True.
And I also had like the boat with it, like the SS Georgie boat with it, so that was pretty dope. I went as the Lieutenant Dangle from Reno 911 with like the short shorts.
Yeah.
That was probably one of my favorites. I still have that. That's always one I can just pull back out. It's an easy one to go as. And then when I was like 3 years old, I went as a pumpkin.
Okay.
And that one was pretty. That one was pretty cool.
Now here's a thought. Have you ever thought about combining the Georgie one with the Reno 911?
No, that's a very stupid idea, and I don't even know how that would work because he's not going to be wearing short shorts when he's out in the rain.
Touche.
And he's like 5 years old, so he can't really be a Reno department sheriff.
Not with that attitude. So speaking of It, have you seen the recent It movie?
Yes, I have.
What's your opinion on it? I haven't seen it yet, so.
Have you seen the first one?
I have seen the first one.
So I've read the book, and like it's probably one of my favorite books. One of my favorite like horror movies as a kid. Now, like watching it as an adult, it's like terrible. I don't know if you've ever seen like the 1990 like version of it, but it's not good. It's not true to the book.
I heard that the book is a little darker.
The book is very dark, and there's some very controversial scenes in it that would never make a movie. But I would definitely say that the new movies played a lot more to the book and had a lot more like Easter eggs to the book in it as well that were really cool. I love the movie. I didn't necessarily think it was very scary, but it was just a good movie. Bill Hader stole the show, in my opinion. That and the guy who plays Pennywise just did a fantastic job.
Here's a question: the guy that plays Pennywise, is he in? Because I'm gonna sound stupid. Is the guy that made the book Stephen King?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So and so he also made what's the one with the prison? Shawshank.
Yeah.
Yes. So there is a series called Castle Rock on Hulu.
Yep.
The guy, the psycho dude, is that the same actor as Pennywise?
Yep.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
Is there a reason behind that? Or no? Is that just coincidence?
So Castle Rock's not actually like it's just like the Stephen King universe. It's not like actually tied to like a specific like book or anything. So it's just like the Stephen King universe with a lot of like Stephen King like stuff like thrown in. I've never really. I've seen like some of the first season. I was actually having this discussion today about Castle Rock and
Yeah.
like wanting to watch it because I saw a commercial for it. On
Have you
Hulu.
not seen it yet?
I've seen like the first 2 episodes.
Okay, I'm currently working through. I'm like halfway
Do you
through.
like it?
I love it.
Okay. Does it start off slow?
I not really. Like the beginning, it kind of has a not necessarily a prequel, but like it takes you through like the very. It's like it jumps 20 years from
Mm-hmm.
like where it starts, and then it kind of jumps. So, I think it's really good. I am kind of low key hoping that the guy that plays Pennywise ends up having some sort of transitioning from who he is into Pennywise at the end. And I think that would be super cool because it kind of ties different stories from Stephen King's universe together. I think that'd be really cool if they were able to figure out how to do that somehow, because his character, I can definitely see connections between him and Pennywise, but then you can make connections between anything. So I mean, but I think that'd be super cool if that's what ends up happening.
Really cool. Another, I think it's a Hulu series, 11/22/63 with James Franco. It's about going back in time and like stopping the Kennedy assassination.
Okay.
Another Stephen King book. It's probably it's up there with It for me as like my favorite Stephen King, and like the miniseries is fantastic, but the book actually has a part about it in it where like he goes back in time and like he's in Derry, and it's so awesome.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah. So Christmas.
Christmas.
We-
Okay,
we
we're
gotta
jumping
co-
to Christmas now.
So we went Thanksgiving. We jumped ahead to Thanksgiving. We backtracked to Halloween,
We're
and now
at-
we're back
we're
to
on
Christmas. We're on
now.
Christmas now.
Okay.
Okay, worst Christmas memory.
I honestly, I don't really think I have a worst Christmas memory, but I think just as years goes on, it becomes less or more depressing because you know what's gonna happen, and you're like, oh, we're doing this again.
And then like you have to buy presents,
And
and
you
you're
have to-
like,
yeah.
I don't have
It's
the
like
money for this.
The more money you have, or the more money you don't have, the older you get, you have to buy more.
Do you enjoy getting socks that are not Strideline socks for Christmas?
You
Because like
know-
as I've gotten older, I've enjoyed those kinds of gifts more.
I do like socks, but I've gotten to a point where I have too many socks. And then I don't know why, but my shorter socks always seem to disappear. Don't know if you have anything to do with that, but
Well,
do you believe in the sock troll?
the sock troll?
Yeah. Well, I think
But-
he's more recognized or more better known as the underwear troll, but I think he has a side gig of taking socks as well.
So, actually, funny story. That's me.
No.
Yep, that's
Oh my
actually me.
gosh.
So, actually, if you look in the trunk of my car, if I ever get pulled over and my car gets
You have like a
searched,
little troll hat.
yeah, I have a troll hat and it's just filled with socks back there. So people are gonna think things if I ever get pulled over and they want to search my truck.
So this is like the circle of life. I show off the socks, I wear the socks, you steal the socks, and then you resell the socks.
I don't resell them.
No,
I bury them.
you bury them.
Yes.
So it's instead of the circle of life, it's more of like the pit of death
Yes.
of socks.
It's actually
It's-
I bought some land. I don't know if you actually drive by it every day on your way home. You actually see the sign. It's called the Pit of Death. Have you ever
Pit of
seen
Death.
it? Yeah, you've seen it.
I recall it.
Yeah, that's actually where they all are. So if you want them, I just kind of bury them out there. They all have gravestones.
Okay.
So yeah.
It's a lot of gravestones.
And what I'm hoping is it's kind of like a oh gosh, what's it called? The one Stephen King where they come back to life. Pet Cemetery.
Yeah, I remember that one.
So hopefully they don't come back to life.
Turn
but
into sock zombies.
yeah, yep. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. That'd be pretty interesting.
It would be.
What do you think sock zombies would be like?
I think they'd be really good at socking you in the face.
And that's the kind of humor you can expect here on Straight Outta College, and we'll be right back. Are you still listening? Are you? Well, you're going to want to keep listening because this next segment, it's about to get a little crazy. Daniel, let them know what we're about to do.
We are about
To end the show.
End the show. Oh boy. Are we ending the show?
I don't know. Do you want to end it?
I don't know. Is there anything else you want to talk about? I mean, there's school. We've been doing that. I've been super busy. You got your job.
Yep.
We discovered the true death cycle of Sideline Socks.
And that I'm every person a part of your life.
Yeah, this has been a very revealing podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think we do have a caller. Wait, we do have a caller.
Do we?
Yep. Okay, and click. You are live on air with Straight Outta College. Go ahead.
Oh, hello.
Hello. What's your question?
Oh, my question. Oh, Baba Booey, Baba Booey. Oh.
Okay, we're getting a lot of prank calls here tonight. I apologize about that. Oh, we have another call here. You are live on air with Straight Outta College.
Is this David?
Okay, and we're gonna hang up on that one.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, that's two prank calls.
The nerve of some people.
You want to know something crazy?
What?
I was both of those prank calls.
No.
Yeah.
Oh
Yep.
my gosh.
Yeah.
But you're right in front of me.
You're probably wondering how I did that.
How did you do that?
Pre-recorded.
Oh, shoot.
Yep,
Okay.
pre-recorded.
That's smart.
Yep.
You are ahead of the
I
game.
could tell you. You know what's funny is, Daniel, I could tell you what's going to happen to you for like the next probably 10 days of your life. I keep your schedule planned out for like 10 days.
You know, this is actually kind of crazy because I have a theory that what I'm figuring out to be true right now, it's lining up very well. So, do you know how Elon Musk is coming out with basically a little chip that you can surgically insert into your head? And basically what this chip does is it gives you the opportunity to basically connect your phone to this chip. So it puts it into your conscious. So what this does is it connects your conscious to social media. In other words, it gives you the power to do like not mind reading, but what's it called when you like talk to people like through your like through your head? There's a word for it.
Yeah. All I'm thinking is mind reading, and I know that's not it.
Yeah, not mind reading, but it's like
If you know the answer to that, go ahead and call in and just let us know, or comment below.
It's like some sort of psychic-y word. I don't know. But yeah, so he's basically creating that. And then basically what this is leading up to is it's essentially leading up to, because you'll be able to like eventually see the social media in your head, like almost as if it was a dream where like it could get to a point where you're conscious through this chip, but you're unconscious in real life. So virtual reality kind of becomes reality, or it's basically like as if you were dreaming, where you're aware of what's going on in the dream, but you're completely unaware of what's going outside of the dream. So that made me question what, and this is a very common thing, is like, what if we are currently in that kind of dreamlike state, and this is all a kind of chip that we're in right now, and then once we die, we leave this kind of dimension or whatever you want to call it, universe, and then you wake up and then you're like, oh wow, that was just like a really really long big game that I just played or something.
So it's just like a save file, like
yeah.
kind
So
of
like
thing?
right now we're like playing a game of Sims, basically.
Mm-hmm. And you can just keep putting this chip or whatever in like a different body, and it's like just keeps going.
And you can you can choose different like people's lives you want to live, I guess.
So you wouldn't think like cloning, like you just keep like cloning yourself, and then like you just keep like once this body dies and your like clone gets this chip, like.
Well, so my thought process on that is time is perspective. Like, well, I guess it's not. They made it like it's a real thing, but like you can control how fast or slow time goes, kind of, sort of. Like basically, you can stretch it to where it's like an infinite amount of time. Like if you go faster than the speed of light, you basically just freeze time or something like that. So this is kind of going outside of like my theory, but basically, like what if outside of this, like what we're going through right now, Elon Musk is creating all these crazy things. Let's say like 100 years from now, we have technology to do things I'm talking about right now, and then we just enter this virtual reality where we just live some other life while maybe like a second passes in that real life. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you have like the power to live an unlimited amount of lives in like an unlimited amount of time. what if that's actually what's happening right now?
That's pretty crazy.
Like, does it? Because like
Yeah.
with what we know right now and how things are advancing, doesn't that sound like that's a possibility?
I would say so. I feel like we're getting to a point though with like medically or like I don't know that we're advancing where like I feel like Elon Musk was maybe saying something about this. Someone was saying that like we're getting to the point where like we can't die of like old age anymore. Like they're like
'Cause
something
they
with
can,
like
like,
reverse
fix the
aging.
DNA.
Yeah, like they can.
How cool would that be if like old people started to get younger because you could
Mhm.
like fix the DNA?
But like what they're saying is like we're only a couple generations off, like just from that.
Yeah.
Like our generation probably won't get to experience that, but like a couple
Yeah,
generations
yeah.
down the road, like they're not going to be dying of old age anymore.
That's insane. Like, could you just imagine your grandmother or grandfather like getting their hair back and like turning to the age that you are? How weird would that be? Like, what if your
Yeah.
mom looked the same age as you?
Wow. Well,
In other words, what if you look the same age as you because you're
Yeah.
probably your mom?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm your mom. I play your mom.
Oh
So,
shoot.
damn it! I had a. Oh, we're not allowed to curse on here. Oh my gosh.
You can't. I mean, the podcast is long, and no one's listening to it.
I'm gonna say it.
Do it.
Shoot.
Oh,
What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something though, and I forgot what I was gonna say.
I don't know, but while you're thinking about that, I just thought of something.
Okay.
Sawyer, what if you aren't someone else playing a different role?
Oh my gosh. What if?
Because what if
I'm in here playing? This is me playing the role of somebody, but it's not me.
like, here's what I'm thinking. So you said you've played the role of my mom, my dad, my girlfriend from 6th grade. So
The person who checked out for your John Cena belt.
yeah. So what if there's like some sort of chain, like cycle, whatever, where you were them, but then there's someone else that's
Playing me.
Sawyer.
Yeah.
Are you someone else?
I think I'm playing you right now.
No. Oh my gosh, and that connects. Just everything connects.
Yeah.
This all makes sense. And so that's
Is that where we end the show?
I think so.
Daniel, what happens when we die?
I guess you just turn into me. Well, no. So in this case, my 6th grade girlfriend turns into you, then you turn into me, then I turn into probably like Elon Musk.
You think so?
I think so. I think Elon Musk is actually all of us.
So I listened to him on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he's a fascinating person.
Think about it though, because he's known on Twitter, the thing we talked about earlier, as like the meme legend, and like his memes are all right, but I wouldn't call him the meme legends. But according to everyone else, he's the meme legend. Maybe that's just because all those people that claim that are actually just him giving him free advertisement and promotion.
Yeah. That dude, he knows stuff we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
He's all of us. He's
This is weird.
God.
Did you just say that?
I think it's.
You just
I
said
think
that.
he just made me say that.
Elon, darn you.
Wow. And he's a listener too, right?
He's been tuning in and out.
Yeah, he's been he when he sees who the guest is, and he's like, oh yeah, that person's
this
on. Like,
person.
oh, Caleb's this guest. I don't know, I'm gonna skip that one.
I heard he's a big fan of you though. So
Yeah, he
doesn't like me. He's like,
he's-
oh, who's this weirdo?
And then he figured out that I'm you, so then he
And so
started
he
listening
started
to all
listening.
of them. Yeah, from the
So-
very beginning. Do you think you could do this podcast like just by yourself? Like you don't
Oh gosh, I could, but that's weird.
like no guests, you just straight talking for like an hour.
I feel like there are people that can do that, but I feel like if I were to do that, that would just feel like very ego-y.
Yeah,
You know how they say you are what you eat?
yeah,
I'd have to start eating a lot more Eggo waffles.
yeah. And you know who the Eggo waffles are?
Am I a cannibal? Is
Yeah.
that what you're saying?
Yeah. It's actually your 6th grade girlfriend.
Oh, shoot.
It's actually your father and your mother.
Chelsea. Why didn't you tell me? I would have stopped eating.
Oh, okay.
You did not just. Okay. I'm referring to the waffles.
Okay. Daniel, before we leave, what's something positive to get all of our listeners through the week?
This is something we gotta do because all the other guys are doing it in podcast niche. So I'll tell you. So all you listeners out there, I'm going to give you some word of inspiration. If you're ready. Let me know when you're ready.
Hold on. Okay.
Okay, good? Okay.
Yep.
So, here's my word of inspiration. You can fail as many times as you want. You only need to succeed once in order for it to matter. Dab on the haters.
That's really dumb. Because, I mean, how many, okay, Daniel, let's say you just failed like 150 times in a row.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely
You're going to
nothing.
be really depressed.
And you go to that 151 and you fail again.
You're going to be even more depressed.
And then you get to 152 and you just keep failing. At what point are you like, I am just absolutely not good at anything? Or are you being like, Daniel just said if I succeed one time, it's all worth it.
Think of it this way. If you fail 150 times, then you succeed the 151st time, think of how good that's going to feel.
I mean, yeah, it's going to feel good, but like how much time's wasted here?
Well, that's something you just have to consider.
If Michael Jordan failed basketball like 152 times.
Okay, let me change my quote.
Thank you.
Okay.
We'll edit that out.
It's okay if you succeed 150 times. If you fail once, you should probably give up.
I like that one. I like that one. My quote for everybody is when the going gets rough, you just got to keep going. There's no number to it. Just, when it's going, when it's rough, you just got to keep on going.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to analyze that one?
I think we should.
Let's dive into that.
Oh, we're diving into it?
Yeah, what's your opinions on that? When the going gets rough, you just got to keep on going, man.
I think this is a matter of coefficient of friction. And I think this depends on the variable. Certain coefficient of friction.
I'm a business major, so you got to tone it down.
Okay. When things are rigidy, like sandpaper,
okay,
maybe you shouldn't rub your arm on it.
Oh.
But if you're dealing with ice, you also probably shouldn't rub your arm on it because it's going to be cold. I don't know why I'm talking about rubbing my arm on it, but...
Can I just ask something here? A piece of ice, what kind of grit sandpaper do you think you're going to be rubbing on some ice to, like, really smooth it out?
I don't know.
What kind of... Do you remember, like, the different, like... What is it, grits of sandpaper? Like, there's, like, 3 different ones when you're, like, sanding something?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay, well...
But so, no sandpaper, no ice. Although ice does have... it's not as rigid. It's very smooth. But it's sneaky. It's a sneaky sneak. So, I would say only mess with things that have no friction, which is... You're going to have to lube it up.
Whoa. KY jelly.
The arm. I'm talking about the arm.
You're going to want to use our new sponsor, KY jelly.
KY jelly.
The arm. For the arm.
The perfect lubricant jelly for the arm.
Comes in many different flavors: strawberry, watermelon, peach, cherry, and chocolate.
All right. Well.
Is that it?
I
Are we
think
ending
that's
it here,
it.
or do you want to keep going for like another 2 hours?
God. We can go on. If that's what your heart desires.
Is there anything we have left to talk about? Like,
I'm sure there is.
Do you want to announce the guest for next week, Stephen Colbert? Oh, I already said
Colbert.
it. Stephen Colbert is coming on the show.
Yeah. So
if he can make it.
Here's the thing with Stephen. We have a time scheduled for him to show up, and he agreed to come on the show.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want him on the show anymore.
Yeah, he's kind of dorky.
Yeah.
We don't like dorks in this show.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, before we do end this show, what are your opinions right now on Andrew Yang?
Let me actually tie that in. So before the podcast started up, Sawyer saw my screensaver. And for all of those who can't see my phone at the moment because they're listening to a podcast, my screensaver is a picture of John Delaney with a quite the awkward face that he's making, riding down one of those slides with a carpet at the Iowa State Fair. And For just about 99% of you who don't know who John Delaney is, I'm sure there's that one person in South Dakota, but they don't have internet. John Delaney is a guy running for president. He's currently averaging around 0% when it comes to voting in polls. So he has, the way I think of it is he has 100% room for growth. So he's a longer than long shot candidate, but I like him because he is very ripped. He's got some really big arms. He works out. He's probably the most in-shape candidate out there, and I think that really speaks about their character. And
do you think he could use some motivation from this podcast with the quotes we just kind of went there?
I think so. I don't know if he's listening.
I think he is.
Do you think he is?
I think he's a listener.
John Delaney, I just want to let you know I'm a huge fan.
We only have like 8 listeners, but they're all like famous politicians and just famous people. Yeah.
Yeah. But so John Delaney is really cool. The reason why that is my background picture, because 1, it's really funny, and 2, because it has a deeper meaning to it.
Oh.
And that deeper meaning is 50% of the battle is just showing up to the gig, you know? And he is failing with 50% because he did show up to the gig, and he's probably the most awkward candidate to go down a slide in the existence. But he's got that 50% that a lot of people don't have, that 50%. And so, you know, you have to show up, but you also have to not be super awkward. Or if you are awkward, make it work in your favor. Because let me tell you, if he would have taken that picture and turned it into a meme, it probably would have gotten more attention, and he would have gotten more people to listen to what he has to say.
Is this what your app idea is? Just centered around like turning that
Actually,
into a meme?
I do have another app idea. It's called Yankster Media.
Oh,
basically, all it is you take any celebrity and it basically connects it all into one app page. So, for example, let's say Stephen Colbert. So he has his YouTube channel, his Instagram, Facebook. What it does is it puts all of that on his page on Yankster Media, or whatever you want to call the app. And so you could choose Stephen Colbert, you can choose other famous people. And then it'll also have a forum where people can talk to each other about this celebrity, as well as maybe really famous interviews that have to do with them. Basically, it just kind of organizes content for celebrities, so you can kind of be more up to date with the people that you like to follow, all in one platform.
Okay, well, I'm gonna steal that idea.
But I have not worked on that one yet. I don't have any of the design for it, but
Can you just give the listeners a time frame on that one?
After I finish the app I'm currently working on, so probably 5 years from now.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna see that in the news tomorrow.
Yeah, so if anyone steals my idea, you have 5 years to do it.
Okay.
What were we talking about before?
I was just asking what your opinions are still on like Andrew Yang. Have they changed?
Oh,
Are you still
yeah.
Yang Gang? Or?
Oh, yeah, I am still probably not as obsessed because over the summer it was an addiction where I would spend all of my time at work listening to. Well, I mean, I would still be working, but like all the podcasts I listened to was Andrew Yang.
Okay, so can you name any of his platforms other than like giving everybody $1,000? Because I feel like every debate
Yes.
I've ever seen, it's just
It's
what he talks
China.
about.
It's not even that. No, they always ask him, Andrew Yang, what's your opinion on China? And then he's like, why are you asking this question? Now I got to figure out a way to answer this, but and also talk about what I want to talk about, which is stupid. No, so yeah, so he has his $1,000. He also has a vote ranking system. So let's say, for example, in previous years where let's say you like a third-party candidate more than the other candidates. So what it does is it
Gary Johnson, 2016.
like that, or even Bernie Sanders. Let's say you would have voted for Bernie Sanders over Hillary Clinton. So what this gives you the opportunity to do is you can vote for Bernie as your main, and then you can have a runner-up candidate that you vote for if your first candidate doesn't get elected. So let's say Bernie, I vote for him first, second, I vote for Hillary. So that way, if enough people vote for Bernie over Hillary, then Bernie would get the vote. Vice versa, if people voted for Hillary first and Bernie, and then Bernie has more, then all the Hillary votes, the second, like the runner-up Hillary votes would go to Bernie, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, you can choose the candidate that you want most, but if they don't make the top two, then it'll go to your backup candidate.
Okay.
So
I
that's
kinda like that.
that's
yeah.
one. He wants to get rid of the penny because nobody uses it, and it actually
Mhm.
costs more to make the penny. That's a smaller one. It's like
Yeah.
it would save a few $1,000,000, but it's like that's nothing in the
Yeah.
scheme of government. He also has something where basically he wants to have Americans have up to $100 where they choose where their money goes to for like representatives. So instead of them getting bought out by like gas companies and all that, they'd be bought out by citizens. So that way they wouldn't have to worry about getting paid by these really big companies. And that way citizens that believe a candidate's doing what they're supposed to be doing, they're going to be getting a lot of money. And let's just say like let's say 1,000,000 people give their $100 to one person. That one person's getting $100 million. That's like obviously, a very kind of blunt case or very out there, but basically what it does is the better candidates are going to be getting money. The not so good candidates aren't going to be getting any money from the people, and they're probably going to be out of the system because people are going to find out that they're corrupt, and then people aren't going to vote for them, blah, blah, blah. They'll just kind of be out of the system. There's other stuff, but I can go all day about it.
So what do you think of him not showing up for the LGBTQ town hall that was last week?
Did he not go?
No, he was one of like 3 candidates that didn't do it, and he said because of scheduling conflict.
Okay.
Where I feel like nobody really knows anything. Like other than like his main thing, which is the $1,000. Like that's what everybody knows him as, because I feel like that's every debate I've seen him in. That's what he just talks about mostly.
Mhm.
Obviously, he doesn't get as much speaking time as like kind of like the big 3, candidates. But I just think it was kind of bad that he didn't show up for that, because that could have been another platform they could have talked about that not many people. They could have seen him talk about something other than the business stuff, and
I think he probably intentionally did that. And
Yeah.
I say that because I think he has other priorities that kind of are higher than that. And that's because I can't put words in Andrew Yang's mouth, but
you're about to.
I am. From what I know of him, I would say that he would say that this is because, and I'm sure he would word it a lot better than I would, but I'd be getting the same point across probably in a very bad way.
Mhm.
But I think he would think that obviously there are definitely scenarios where you don't have as much equal rights because people are going to judge you. But at the same time, like, it's the same thing with me if I wanted to apply for a broadcast, or like let's say I wanted to apply for Fox or any of the news stations, and I have all of my Andrew Yang blasting on Twitter. Obviously, I do kind of have my name and the username. I'm just gonna hope that they don't see that. But I don't really want to apply for any news stations anyways. It's not what I want to do.
Mhm.
It's just really stressful, and when you move up in the media, when you get to mainstream media, it just becomes very biased and just very agenda based.
Mhm.
And so I don't want to be a part of that. And so I think it's the same concept with me wanting to work, if I wanted to work in media, where if they see my social media being like Andrew Yang, bashing on certain candidates, they're going to see that. They're not going to want me in there to be on their news, because it shows that I have a bias, which, like, yeah, but I can control my bias. But that's besides the point. And so I think it's the same concept with when it comes to LGBTQ. Oh, I'm forgetting letters. I apologize. But LGBTQ.
Yep.
Okay. It's the same kind of concept where you have the freedom to do what you want to do, but if you dress a certain way or do something a certain way, companies still have the right to not hire you. Obviously, like, if you have like all the skills and you're way outperforming someone else, then you obviously should get picked, and it might not be on paper, but that might be the reason why they don't want to hire you, but they can like say for some other reason, blah, 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 all the technicalities and all that. But like when it comes to like news, for example, where like it's based on how you look, like if I was not the most attractive person, they might not hire me just because people don't want to look at my face, and that's just
But you don't have that problem, so
I do.
You walk in there and they're intimidated by how attractive you are.
Again, when can I work for you? But I think it's just something along the lines of where, like, he believes that everyone should have the same rights, but I personally think that he thinks that it's at a point where they do have a good amount of rights. It might not be equivalent to everyone else, but I would say that there are other groups of people that have less rights than they do. I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's probably why.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with that. Okay. One last question, and then we have to go off air here. We got another podcast coming in that Daniel listens to, who doesn't know it's me actually doing the podcast. But anyway,
dude, are questionable at best.
Yeah, that's me.
My best buddies from high school. I'm going to do a quick promo for my buddy Sawyer over here, who's apparently my high school friends too.
Yep.
Questionable at Best is just this really cool podcast, definitely more R-rated. They just kind of talk about, they just like rate things. They do like a kind of like a March Madness pyramid system where they like rank like Little Debbie's or Pop or fast food restaurants, and then they'll just also talk about whatever's on their mind. So there's one time they're talking about like 9/11. Obviously, in good taste, like they weren't talking like bad about it. They're like, they were being respectful about it and everything, but just stuff that catches their interest. Really cool podcast, very underrated. They just started up recently. For all those 5 of you listening out there, I highly recommend checking it out.
Mm-hmm. Maybe like 2 of our viewers will go over and listen to that one and bump their numbers up.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Okay, last question. Why the camo pants?
Well, let me give a background as to what I'm wearing right now.
In 500 words or more.
Okay. I didn't think I was going to be in public today, and I forgot that we were doing a podcast until I looked at my schedule, and then I remembered. So I'm wearing camo pants because, well, they're joggers. They're very comfortable. I'm wearing my fuzzy Ohio State socks, also because they're very comfortable. I'm wearing my long sleeve KDR shirt because I wanted to wear something that would make my arms feel warm. And let's see. I'm also wearing purple shorts underneath the joggers, and I'm pretty sure I'm wearing boxers as well.
Wow.
And flip-flops. I got the kicks on. So.
Okay. And the horse mask, you're going to talk about that at all?
I wanted to try out, see how people would react.
Yeah. I didn't really, it didn't really throw me off. I was just like, okay, this is something Daniel's doing now.
And it was also something I forgot that I was wearing it.
You can speak very well out of it. Like, you can't even tell that you're wearing a horse mask when you're talking.
I actually I kind of played around with the horse mask to make the acoustics sound more natural. But so I was wearing it home all day just because, when you go to saunas to lose weight? Well, I use horse masks to lose weight on my face because I have like a really fat like under chin that I'm working on shaving.
It's actually getting pretty muscular.
Some pounds down. Is it?
Yeah, it's getting very muscular.
Oh, thank you.
What can you bench with that now?
Oof. Probably 5 pounds.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I do 3 reps of 5 pounds.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I'm only at 3, so we're getting there.
I also learned ways like where if you like tuck your tongue in and your teeth in a certain way, you can make it look like your chin's not as fat as it is, and it makes you look kind of more like you have a jawline, sort of.
Now, can you confirm right now that you are doing any HGH or just anything illegal to, bump your numbers up?
I recently discovered what melatonin is. Do you know what that is?
I do know what that is.
Yeah. And you don't need prescriptions for that.
Yeah. You can just go to the store and take as much as you want. Yeah.
And
you have to pay for it.
For those of you who don't know what melatonin is, it is a drug that makes you fall asleep faster.
Mm-hmm.
And so naturally, I got gummies that have melatonin in them.
What kind of gummies? Like bears?
Peach. They're delicious. Are they
bears or just like little just random?
They're like little circular dotty things, really squishy, and they have like a really fun texture in one side. It's really nifty.
Do you still take the Flintstone vitamins?
No, I do not.
Okay, so I was talking about. So, did you take Flintstone vitamins when you were a kid?
I actually used to go to my friend's house back when I was in a band at high school, and he had Flintstone gummies, and I would steal them.
Okay, so I was talking to somebody about this the other day. when like Flintstone vitamins were like big when we were kids.
Yeah.
The Flintstones was not a big show when I was a kid.
No, probably like more in the 90s.
So like I don't understand why Flintstone vitamins were such a huge thing back then, and it wasn't like Rugrats vitamins or something like that was actually a popular show for. Because when was the Flintstones out? Like, isn't that like a really old
more
show?
like 80s, 90s.
I would say it's before that though.
Early 90s is like because I know.
Because they had the movies.
I think they still had it on air like in the early 90s.
But like that wasn't a thing that like kids. So I just didn't understand like why that was like the vitamin, like the character vitamins of choice.
I think, and this would just be my thought process. Who buys the gummies?
The parents. So. Yeah.
That's the only thing
it's
I
solved.
can think
Okay,
of.
I have nothing else. So,
on that note,
I think we're going to. Oh wait! We
Wait.
have a caller, and you are live on air with Straight Outta College. And gonna talk? No. Okay.
nothing.
Wow.
Do you know what? Is it DSMR or ASMR? It's like where you make the really weird noises in the microphone.
Yeah, but maybe they were signing. Hold on. Let me call him back, and let me sign to him. Use some sign language.
Wait, you can do my sign language on your phone?
I'm okay. So this is crazy. I'm the one who just called in and signed.
Oh,
too, so,
shoot.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
Okay.
I wonder if there's an app for that.
There is.
Oh yeah, it's just called video calling.
Actually, there's an app. There's an app for people that are
like deaf.
Yeah, where you can like.
And you could sign and it says what they're saying.
Yeah. Well, no. Like if they're, how does it work? It's like if they're in like an emergency situation or something, they can like put on the app and it like goes to like a person that like knows sign language.
Oh.
It's really cool. I don't remember what it's called. I remember reading about it a long time ago.
So it's like 911 for deaf people.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And it like puts you on like a FaceTime with like a deaf person or whatever. Yeah.
That's really sweet.
Yep.
Man, future.
Yep.
Technology.
All right. Well.
Yeah, we're hitting about what? We're at 136. So
yeah. How many viewers do you think we're at right now that made it this far?
Probably take 136 and divide that
We're under 100K.
by
so.
136.
Yeah. Somewhere between 0 and 100,000, probably more in like the 0 to 10 range, though.
I was looking at like the average time listens to our podcast, and it's like not the length of our podcast. Like I think there might be one or two podcasts where someone actually listens to the whole thing.
Really?
I think.
Wow.
I think that was probably me.
I know. I listened to my episode all the way through, so.
I'm sure people listens to some portions of it, but.
Yeah. How many subscribers? No.
Oh man. Well, I mean Facebook, because when you just spam the invite button, people feel bad.
They're like, oh,
it's like, okay.
Daniel's got a new project going on.
Yeah, another one. So I think it has like the same number, probably like 90 on Facebook. And then I actually have been getting random followers on YouTube. We were at 8, now we're at like 11.
Oh.
Mhm.
Wow.
So I think.
Do you know how many of those I am?
Oh no. Well, one of them was my former boss from tour guiding. So that's not you, is it?
Well.
Oh no.
No, that one was actually not me.
Okay.
I couldn't nail down a character to be a tour guiding boss. I tried.
Yeah.
I worked on that one I workshopped that for like 8 years. I just couldn't get it down.
Couldn't get it, yeah.
So I was like, I'll just let.
And that goes back to the phrase where like you eventually gotta give up.
Yeah, eventually it's just gotta end. You're like, well,
Yeah.
it's not getting any better. So.
You only fail if you keep at it, then you just fail more.
I don't know how to end this. Like, we just got to keep talking. Like, we're at like, let's just get up to like 4 hours. We're like, all right, we got to end it here.
Oh
and
God.
Then, do you just say like bye? Like, how do you like? I know there's like, do you add the outro like any music?
I do add outro music. Yeah.
Okay, so like, okay.
Well, we have our scripts that we
Oh,
usually
yeah,
look at.
Yeah,
We usually end it that way.
we don't have that.
Well, because so
This isn't like a normal episode though.
no, this is
like a practice because we've been out of practice.
this is kind of like an episode where we admit to the people listening that this podcast probably isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
So we're just kind of freeballing it.
It's just something to do. Yeah. Something to
We're
do.
just talking to the mic because we like listening to ourselves.
Yeah, we're just both very self-conceited people. Yeah.
Dude.
Okay, well,
on that note.
On that note,
Thank you for listening to Straight Out of College.
Yeah, I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank
myself for listening.
Yeah, myself, Daniel's parents, which are also me.
It's basically you listening and hitting the repeat button.
Yeah, I've actually been 4 of the guests on this show, so.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we'll talk about that the next time.
So yeah, now we're gonna plug in all of our social media. All right, thanks for.
Yeah, I have a MySpace still.
Yeah.
I really do. MySpace.com/SawyerBaker13, and then my LinkedIn profile. We're not gonna link that one.
No. Isn't it just Sawyer Baker?
I think it's like Sawyer J Baker or something like that. J is for just kidding.
Just kidding.
I'm like everybody in Daniel's life. That's what the J stands for. So, yeah.
That makes sense.
You know all your LinkedIn friends, all your LinkedIn connections?
Oh.
Yeah, those are all me.
That's why I still have.
And I have a different life for all of them.
That's why I still don't have any jobs lined up after I graduate. Then I guess.
You got a decent I've looked at hiring you for a few different things.
Have you?
Yeah. I've actually had to start some companies, so just to get you a job.
You must be in some crazy debt. All these jobs, companies you're starting.
It's not going well.
Yeah. So what's stopping you from hiring me? This podcast?
It's your profile picture on LinkedIn.
Oh.
Your profile picture. Okay, so I don't personally have a profile picture.
You don't want people to see your face.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Because then they're going to be like, wow, he is that guy and that guy and that guy. Because I don't really do a good thing. But if you look at LinkedIn is everybody's profile picture on LinkedIn is the same thing.
It's like a picture of your face with a tie.
Yep, and there's just a blank background.
There's a blank background.
Yep, and then it has like innovative, creative, like, you know.
Oh, yeah, very cliche.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, that sums it up.
I was just like, you know.
It's like, how do you change it? How do you change it up? Be different.
I just put average. I will show up most of the time.
Is that actually what you have?
No, but I think that'd be a really good
that'd be funny.
A really good link. I'm going to show up most of the time. I don't call off that often. I'm going to say that I'm a quick learner, but it takes me a little bit of time.
And I expect a raise in a year.
Yeah, and don't get discouraged if I'm not getting it right away, you know. So not many. I'm only 23, or I'm 24. Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm old. And I don't have that. Like, I'm really selling myself more than what I am. So, yeah, that would be everyone's LinkedIn profile is just a bunch of BS. So,
yeah, it's just like selling yourself and then making things
that'd be a
shiny.
fun game to play.
What?
Pull up people's LinkedIn profiles and like
Yeah.
ask them questions like based on like what their experience says. And be like,
Interesting, and ask them to like expand on it.
yeah, like really expand on that. So. Like if they like put like Walmart stalker or something, like they made it sound like really elaborate. Like you're just okay, so you're just stocking shelves. Like you're not replenishing inventory and making sure that inventory levels are correct.
That'd be a ballsy interview to do.
Yeah, with Andrew Yang.
With Andrew Yang.
Okay, we got to end it there.
Straight out of college.
Straight out of college. Thanks for nobody's listening.
What is our podcast? That's a bad name because we're not even out of college yet. It's
Yeah.
like straight almost
We're about to be out of college.
Almost straight out of college.
Yeah.
That should be the name of our podcast.
Are we going to get a graduation picture together?
We got to.
In the cap and
for
gown?
all the fans.
Yeah, for all the people who are like,
we
man.
We should start a GoFundMe and create like a customized cap and gown where it's just straight out of college.
Yeah. Do you want to like just put that like on top of the cap, just straight out of college?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just any publicity, anything to get it out there.
I'll do a throwback. I'll wear some Stradline socks even.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be really good. I wish that they would do graduation on a Thursday, so you could just do some throwback Thursday.
Yeah.
Why do they do them on Saturdays? That's
Is
so
it on
stupid.
Saturday?
Yeah, like a good Monday afternoon would be good, or
Yeah.
Tuesday. I'm good on Wednesdays too. Can't do Thursday.
Yeah, it's not like we have any jobs.
And I can't do Friday, Saturday, or
We're
Sunday.
free after
yeah.
classes are over.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for
Thank you for the memories. All right, we're going to end it there. It's been Straight Outta College. My name's Daniel.
My name's Sawyer. Our outro message, dab on the haters. Thank you for listening.
And go USA.
And go fund yourself.
Whoa. All right, bye-bye.
Or go fund me.
Whoa. Both sound dirty.
And cut.